A forest restoration project is drawing some controversy these days. We'll take a look. This week is Crime Victims Week. We'll see how those victims are being remembered and recognized. And after a murder in downtown Rapid City last week, Rapid City police are upping their presence there. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Jack Cottle. Last week's fatal stabbing across the street from Main Street Square left the community and businesses calling for more to be done to keep downtown Rapid City safe. Our Adrian Carbajal spoke with the chief of police and explains what's being done to prevent other crimes from happening in the area.
After last week's stabbing near Main Street Square, which resulted in the death of Francis Tobacco, the Rapid City Police Department, along with city leaders, hosted a meeting for business owners in the area to voice their concerns. RCPD's chief of police said during those conversations, one issue became very apparent.
It became clear that we just particularly need a stronger presence in the downtown core.
As a result, Hedrick says RCPD has shifted its resources to ensure the downtown area is better served.
During business hours, physically stationed in our downtown core. So you'll see more foot patrols, you'll see more bike patrols, and you'll also see many more police cars as well.
Hedrick noted the summer season is typically when more crime happens as a result of more people being out later in the day. While RCPD has focused its efforts downtown during warmer months in previous years, Hedrick says there will be nearly double the effort this year.
Traditionally, in the summertime, we do ramp up our downtown efforts, but I think what you're going to see this summer is we're doubling down on that effort. You're going to see much more of a presence than in previous years. We're going to be putting forth a vision request funding for more camera systems in our downtown and citywide.
RCPD is also asking for the community's help to address public safety issues and urges anyone who sees a crime to report it as soon as possible by calling 605-394-4133. Reporting for KOTA Territory News, I'm Adrian Carbajal.
Main Street Square is shining purple for National Crime Victims Week this week. The week of observance is sponsored by the Department of Justice's Office for Victims of Crime and recognizes the accomplishments of the victims' rights movement while reflecting on the current needs of victims and victim support groups. The Crime Victims Week luncheon will be tomorrow as well at the DoubleTree by Hilton at the Monument from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Many people will also be painting awareness rocks and will place them in the gravel rock bed near the memorial bench. Well, it sure feels like spring in KOTA Territory. Will this continue through the week? Chief Meteorologist David Stradling is here to let us know. Hopefully that's the case because can kind of get used to this a little bit.
Yeah, it's been quite nice, Jack. We had warm weather this weekend that's continued into today, especially for those in Wyoming. The sunshine's been nice too. Plenty of sunshine to kick off the week. We will have a few more clouds tomorrow and Wednesday, but we'll get to that in a moment. Right now it looks pretty nice downtown Rapid City in our Golden West weather camera at the Gunnarsson Palmer law firm there. As we look at our temperatures currently, we're in the low 50s from Mud Butte to Phillip over towards Shade Hill, but we're flirting with 70 in Sheridan. We have upper 60s into other parts of Wyoming, mid 60s into southwest South Dakota with some 50s elsewhere. So overall, it's pretty nice. We'll have those warmer temperatures shift eastward throughout the day tomorrow, where we'll get up to about 69 degrees for high temperature. However, some of us could hear our first rumbles of thunder for the year. We could have some storms by the afternoon, and I'll talk more about that coming up in my first alert forecast.
Thank you, David. A man facing federal wire fraud charges after being accused of scamming an elderly woman out of $100,000 in 2023 is back in federal court this afternoon. 32-year-old Abdul Wahid Muhammad had a detention hearing where he consented to the judge's order to keep him in jail. Muhammad is already facing state grand theft charges for allegedly posing as a member of law enforcement and demanding money from an elderly Rapid City woman in exchange for the resolution of false warrants. Muhammad is not a resident of South Dakota, and law enforcement is still working to determine if he's a U.S. citizen. Federal prosecutors say Muhammad is a flight risk with no ties in South Dakota. Muhammad is now in federal custody, and his state bond is set at $100,000 cash. Tribe is asking the general public to help locate 22-year-old Savannah Standing Bear, who's been missing since March 24th. Standing Bear is 5'5", 140 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black sweater, blue jeans, and Nike shoes. She has a tattoo under her right eye that reads Gala. A search party was scheduled to head out over the weekend. If you have any information, please call Tribal Law Enforcement Services at 605-856-2282 or 605-856-2365. In 2019, the U.S. Forest Service launched a restoration project to restore the natural landscape of the McVeigh burn scar outside of Hill City. Could the project lead to commercial timber production there? Well, that depends on who you ask. Brian Savage has the story.
In 1939, the McVeigh fire decimated approximately 22,000 acres of forest land, drastically changing the landscape, according to the U.S. Forest Service. A little after the fire concluded, the Forest Service says the impacted area was seeded and replanted with non-native ponderosa pine that originated from outside the Black Hills. In addition, they say the planting led to non-regenerated, poorly formed ponderosa pine, which can cause hazardous fuel conditions. With the McVeigh Fire Restoration Project launching in 2019, the executive director of the Black Hills Forest Resource Association believes the project serves a big purpose.
It was to correct a planting mistake from the 1930s. And this is to restore the forest long term, provide better habitat, reduce fire hazard, and disease susceptibility of these forests.
Woodkey claims several individuals and groups have spread misinformation about the project on social media. Woodkey wants to make clear that the project's purpose is not to produce commercial timber, rather to restore the natural landscape.
The purpose of this project was not to put up commercial timber. It was not at the behest of the forest products industry or elected officials.
A former U.S. Forest Service employee says he understands the Forest Service's rationale for the McVeigh project. However, he claims clear-cutting is going on in the burn scar area and says the agency has provided justification for it.
The clear-cutting could be one of the ramifications down the road of increased timber harvest levels.
Mertz believes the Black Hills Forest Resource Association and other organizations took issue with what he told KOTA Territory the last time he spoke with us.
People get the impression that clear-cutting is going to happen on a wide scale across the forest. They don't want that. They don't want that in the public's mind.
Woodkey says he's astonished individuals and groups are sticking to the claim that the project is being used for timber production. Reporting for KOTA Territory News, I'm Brian Savage.
Right now, fear is growing on Wall Street as global markets sink. U.S. stocks opened lower today due to concerns about how the Trump administration's tariffs could affect the global economy. Maribel Gonzalez spoke to financial experts about what this means for your wallet, how to protect your money as the markets plunge.
Whiplash on Wall Street. On Monday, U.S. stocks opened in bear market territory. That means nearing a 20% decline from a recent market peak as a global trade war causes financial fears.
This is a shock that markets haven't really dealt with before.
But what does this mean for you? Financial experts say, don't panic.
This is not the time to be selling and running for the hills. If you're not in, this is a good time to get in.
But having cash on hand outside the markets is necessary.
My recommendation is about 40% in cash and bonds, cash in positions like money markets or high yield savings where you're getting interest on it.
Experts say if you're near retirement age, working one additional year is one way to meet your long-term retirement needs.
Don't let the short term affect your planning for the long term. And for people that are just retiring, retirement is a long-term plan.
Cutting back on spending and diversifying your investments may help too.
You don't want to have to sell stocks at depressed prices. That will burn through your nest egg at a much faster rate.
And if you're not already doing so, invest.
Often the best days in the market follow some of the worst.
Most of all, experts say stay the course because historically, the market recovers.
You've got to be in it to win it, even in the face of volatility.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Not every veteran has someone there as they're laid to rest at our national cemeteries. We'll see what some are doing about that when KOTA Territory News at 5:30 returns. The Black Hills National Cemetery held a ceremony today ensuring that no veteran is ever forgotten. Rosetta Jones has the story.
They sacrificed everything for this country, for the good of America, the good of the world, actually. So it's very important to honor them.
A veteran's funeral normally has a two-person honor guard who fold and present the American flag to the veteran's family. But for veterans without family, members of the community gather at the Black Hills National Cemetery quarterly to watch military funeral honors be given to those veterans who did not have them given at their burial. Many in attendance are veterans themselves.
I come on all these memorials. This is important out here. Every veteran deserves a place to rest for the rest of his life.
They are very dedicated to their country. All of them are, both the living and those that have passed. And so no matter what, there's always people that come out and honor them, which is such a privilege and honor to get to see and experience.
The next ceremony will happen in July if there are any unaccompanied veterans buried before then. Reporting from the Black Hills National Cemetery, I'm Zeta Jones.
Chief Meteorologist David Stradling is tracking the chance for thunderstorms. Find out the details in your accurate First Alert forecast next.
Now, the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Stradling.
Sunshine from the weekend carries into the beginning of our work week. We're blue skies right now across KOTA Territory. Beautiful sunshine across Rapid City, and our temperatures are feeling nice too. It's 60 out at the airport, a little bit cooler out on the South Dakota plains with low 50s to near 50 in Shade Hill. 50s for Carter County, but flirting with 70 over towards Sheridan. They're at 69 right now. We have 66 for Wright into Edgemont and Hot Springs, Pine Ridge as well. 61 for Porcupine, 64 in Newcastle with 50s towards the Black Hills. Feeling pretty good for many spots right now. 58 downtown Rapid City all the way up through Sturgis. Now those temperatures will drop into the 30s overnight tonight. Some spots may stay in the 40s, but tomorrow it will be a little bit warmer for us here in Western South Dakota. Similar temperature-wise in Wyoming. We have highs up in the upper 60s for Rapid City, but we could see our first thunderstorms of the season. We could have a few of those into the afternoon hours. Let's time that out. Tonight it's mostly clear at times, if not partly cloudy as a few clouds move in, but throughout the day Tuesday we'll keep a partly cloudy sky. By the middle of the day we'll start to notice a few of those isolated showers and storms developing off towards Montana and Wyoming. Those will push eastward into the afternoon hours across northeast Wyoming, southeastern Montana. In the early evening hours, those make their way into western South Dakota. By about midnight Monday night, those showers and a few rumbles of thunder will be pushing into central South Dakota, and skies will start off a little sunny for us on Wednesday morning, but will become partly cloudy as a couple more showers will be possible throughout the day. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but our better chance to hear thunder will be tomorrow compared to Wednesday. Those clouds clear out and it'll leave us for a lot of sunshine on Thursday. Now, as we look at the forecast over the next 4 days, you will notice staying in the 60s through Thursday, 74 by Friday. While it's 69 tomorrow, we could have a few thunder showers. We'll have a stray shower on Wednesday. It does get breezy Wednesday and into Thursday. We'll keep those breezy conditions in place. A slight breeze Friday. Those gusts Wednesday, Thursday will be 40 miles per hour. For Friday, we could have a few gusts near 30 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we do have that fire danger into a small sliver of southwest South Dakota, but we'll all need to be aware over the next handful of days as warmer air and strong winds will create fire danger for much of the region going into the middle of the week and into the weekend. As we take a look at those temperatures, it will be above normal for us going into the middle of the month from the 14th to the 21st, which is Tuesday of next week through the following Monday. So 2 weeks from today is at April 21st. Will be above normal in temperatures. Not a strong signal either way of above or below normal moisture, but looking at the recent trends, it's likely we'll stay closer towards the below normal in terms of moisture compared to being above normal, but that's something we'll watch and see if it changes for us as we get closer. Skies are expected to remain partly cloudy overnight tonight. It will be seasonable, 30s and 40s. Going to be pretty nice for us. Tomorrow, a lot of 60s on the map. Could be in the mid 70s down in southwest South Dakota, near 70 towards Phillip and Kadoka. Isolated showers and thunderstorms develop into the afternoon hours. Evening too for western South Dakota. Those temperatures will range from the 50s and 60s through the next 3 days through northeast Wyoming and the northern Black Hills. But by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll notice those temperatures really starting to warm up. 74 Friday, 78 on Saturday, and we'll drop back down to the 60s on Sunday and 50s by Monday.
But for now, it's feeling like like baseball and pickleball weather out there.
Yeah, it is. Feeling pretty good to get outside and doing whatever you enjoy, whether it's fishing, hiking, running, pickleball, tennis, anything like that. It's a great time to get out.
Got a cage, just got to take some cuts.
Yeah, I have to.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, David. Well, football isn't just for boys and men these days. We'll see how girls are taking to the field and loving the game. That's up next. You're watching KOTA Territory News at 5:30. It's a growing sport among girls and women. More and more people are playing flag football. Allie Tripke has more on one program in Boise, Idaho.
Work on three. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Flag football. Go! It's a sport that's gained popularity in recent years, especially among women and girls like 8th graders Megan and Audrielle.
It's really inspiring. It's like fun to see other girls play, and you kind of learn from them a little bit, and you're like, oh, that's how you do it. Because I'm a quarterback, being a leader for my team, it's really fun.
The Optimus Youth Football Clinic hosted over 150 girls aged 7 to 17 Saturday, more than double the amount they had last year.
Ready, go!
Some athletes were returning to the field while others were just getting started.
This is really getting me back into, being more competitive, getting ready to be with my team and, leading it to victory.
Footwork, throwing, catching, and of course flag pulling technique drills were all part of the clinic.
In flag football, you have to be true technique. You can't touch them, so you got to be quick out of your breaks, quick on your feet. So I would say that's a pretty big difference.
Linnea O'Brien is a defensive player on the U.S. national flag football team. She helped coach the girls as many of them were playing for the first time.
And you can see differences right away, and seeing their face and their reaction to that improvement, that's what we're here for.
The sport has gained so much popularity that it'll be played in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, bringing women's football to the world's highest sports stage.
A lot of things are possible in this sport, and it's endless at this point, especially with the Olympics coming up.
Like the pro player, the middle school girls tell me they're glad they discovered flag football, and they're excited to pave the way for future athletes.
I'm the inspiration. A lot of other younger girls get opportunities to start playing.
The NFL announced last February the league was aggressively exploring the possibility of creating separate professional flag football leagues for men and women. Well, car mirrors are getting broken in Rockport, Massachusetts, but the culprit is not who you would expect. We'll take you there after the break. Stay with us.
Be sure to tune into KOTA Territory News at 6 on Fox. A former Department of Agriculture representative shares how you can have your voice heard during an upcoming town hall meeting.
Our elected officials have ceded their authority to Elon Musk and Doge.
Plus, we will share the best products to make spring cleaning easier and effective.
You don't need to buy a specific cleaner for every single surface in your home.
Those stories and more are tonight at 6 on Fox.
Residents of Rockport, Massachusetts thought they had a vandal on the loose, breaking mirrors on people's cars. Turns out the mischief maker was a woodpecker. Logan Hall explains.
There's a vandal on the loose in the town of Rockport, shattering windows with no mercy. Oh, I should probably mention it's not a person. It's a woodpecker.
He came into the yard and he started hopping around on the vehicles, and we weren't thinking that he was doing anything wrong.
Janelle Favaloro has had 2 mirrors destroyed on her car. Initially, she blamed her husband, who blamed their son, but then the same thing happened to her brother-in-law, who lives right next door. That's when she put together the pieces.
People from the neighborhood responded and they said, oh my God, I just lost 2 mirrors too. But they didn't know that it was the woodpecker. So we started putting it all together and realizing that he was canvassing the neighborhood.
I wondered if I'd see him during the interview, and sure enough, he made a celebrity appearance. But don't worry, no cars were harmed today. President of the Merrimack Valley Bird Club, Donna Cooper, says there's a pretty simple explanation for the destructive behavior. It's mating season, and the competition is fierce.
Of course, they're not interested in any other males being around, so they will attack males and try to scare them away, get them to go away or go somewhere else. And this often, or can, include attacking mirror images of themselves, including windows and cars.
But Janelle's a good sport about it. Her and her husband say they actually find him quite entertaining. She even says he's found love this mating season, although she thinks his new partner might need to teach him some manners.
I think she's following him around trying to keep him out of trouble, and she's really embarrassed. And if she could speak to us, I'm sure she'd say, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
So Rockport residents beware. The woodpecker is still at large.
So I've got a woodpecker at my house that occasionally will go after the flashing on the chimney, which thankfully is just annoying and not damaging.
Yeah, I'd rather have more annoying than having to replace windows every once in a while, so I guess that's a win for you.
Absolutely.
Maybe you could teach the woodpecker there in Massachusetts a little something.
Very doubtful.
Yeah, who knows? It is going to be nice outside, Jack, so we're going to have those temperatures starting off in the morning in the 30s. We'll climb up into the 50s late morning, getting up into the upper 60s. Could have our first rumbles of thunder for the season Tuesday afternoon and evening. 62 on Wednesday, 63 Thursday. Quite breezy both days with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. While a few showers are possible Wednesday, will dry out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, where we will get into the 70s Friday and Saturday, flirting with 80 to begin the weekend. Temperatures will drop off a bit, though, Sunday, Monday, down into the 50s and 60s.
I say let's go for that 80 on Saturday.
We'll try for it. I'm not too convinced, but we'll see.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.